Hello students, good evening to all of you. Hope you all are safe and sound at your home. So today we will continue the chapter reproduction in plants and animals. Here we had already done about the asexual reproduction in plants and animals. In animals actually, right? Like budding, fission, fragmentation, regeneration, etc. Clear? So today we will see about the vegetative propagation by artificial method. We had seen vegetative propagation by natural method in our last class. So cutting is a very uh, uh, good artificial method, good, or you can say it's a very common method. Actually, cutting is a very common method, like it is a common method of vegetative propagation in plants like rose, chrysanthemum, grapes, sugarcane, banana, potato, and bougainvillea. These plants are there where cuttings are very common. So stem cutting, root cutting, as well as leaf cutting are some methods for vegetative propagation. Stem cutting plants like in potato, rose, sugarcane, bougainvillea, coleus, banana can be grown through stem cutting, right? While in root cutting, there is tamarind and blackberry are plants where root cutting is common. Like what happens in root cutting, the roots are cut into pieces of 7 to 10 centimeter and placed in vase while in position. Clear? Leaf cutting plants like begonia and peperomia having succulent leaves are propagated by leaf cuttings. The advantage of cutting method is that many plants can be grown quickly from just one plant without waiting for flowers or seeds. Clear? So this is a very important advantage and good advantage of cutting method. Now let's see the layering. Layering is the process of development of fruit on a stem while it is still attached to the parent. Clear? Plant the branch that develops adventitious roots while still attached to the parent plant is called a layer. Clear? You had seen in the chrysanthemum or jasmine, right? Plants like jasmine, lemon, bougainvillea, hibiscus, and strawberry can be propagated by this method. Layering is of two types: mound layering and air layering. See, this is the layering. You can see this branch is attached with the parent plant, but it moves towards the soil and it germinate, or it is formation of adventitious roots takes place here, and new plants formation also takes place here. It's clear? This is the tip layering. This is called the mound layering. You can see from here to this is a new plant, this is the new plant, four new plants are there. Air layering, what happens in air layering? Layering is like this. Clear? In the shoot system, layering takes place. Let's see the grafting. Graft using method of obtaining a superior quality plant from two different plants by taking the root system of one plant and the shoot system of another. Clear? What happens in grafting? You have to take a root system of one plant and shoot system of another plant for the obtaining of the super quality of a plant. Clear? So the plant whose root system is taken called a stalk and whose shoot system is taken called scion. Clear? So see, this is about the grafting. Tissue culture. Tissue culture is also called as micro propagation. Tissue culture is a modern technique of vegetative propagation. This technique is also called micro propagation, right? So the tissue utilizes nutrients from the medium. Actually, tissue culture takes place in the laboratory. Clear? This is a very artificial method for the vegetative propagation. uh, Number of cells or number of tissues are uh, utilizing nutrients from the medium proliferate and forms and organized and unorganized undifferentiated mass of cells. This is called callus. Callus is made in the laboratory. So a small portion of this callus is separated and transferred to another medium containing hormones. These hormones induced differentiation and plantlets are produced. Plantlets means small plants are produced by the tissue culture, right? Orchids, asparagus, chrysanthemum, these are some plants which are grown by the tissue culture technique or tissue culture methods. Clear? So by this method, as usual, I had I told you in case of cutting method that we obtained a number of plants in a very short time of period, right. So we get a number of plants. So let's see sexual reproduction. What is sexual reproduction? The process in which male sex cells sperm fuses with female sex cells ovum to form a new cell called zygote, right. What is sexual reproduction? The here male sex cells sperm and female sex cells ovum are involved. They fuse together and form a zygote, and the process of fusion is called as fertilization. I will tell you later. So sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So firstly you have to see this, you have to see the structure of a typical flower. The green color of leaves present beneath the flower, that is called calyx, and the unit of calyx is called sepals. The colored part of flower, that is called corolla, and the unit of corolla is called petals, right. Androecium, the male part is called androecium and the unit is called stamens, and the female part is called gynoecium, the unit is called carpels. Clear? So this is about the main four parts of the flowering plant. This is calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. You should know about the units also. So pollination. What is pollination? The pollen must be transferred from the anther where it is produced to the stigma where it germinates, forming a pollen tube. This is known as pollination. Clear? First you just see the parts of a flower. This is a typical part of flower. You have to make it in your notebook also. So this is the pollen tube, this is the stigma, this part is the androecium, gynoecium actually means to say female part, and this is the ovary or ovule is there. This is ovary. This swollen part is ovary, right. This red colored part is petal or corolla. This is called sepal or calyx. This is pedicel, right. This yellow color part is called stamen and anther, and this filament, this tube like structure is called filament, right. And the pistil is this, the gynoecium is called pistil here actually. So stigma style ovary is the part of pistil. Clear? So this is the typical parts of a flower, typical structure of a part of a flower. Clear? So pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the anther of a stamen to the stigma of a carpel. Clear? So there are two types of pollination, self-pollination and cross-pollination. In self-pollination, the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of the same flower or to the stigma of another flower on the same plant is known as self-pollination, right. What about cross-pollination? The transfer of pollen grains from the anther of a flower of one plant to the stigma of a flower of another plant of the same species is called the cross-pollination. Clear, student? So here we will see about the this is about the pollination. Now see the fertilization and development of seed. Pollination bring female and male gametophyte together, right. Under suitable condition, pollen tube emerges from the pollen grain and reaches to the ovary. The tip of the pollen tube after entering ovary ruptures and discharges the two male gametes into the embryo sac. One of the male gamete fuses with egg to form zygote. This fusion is called fertilization. You should know the definition of pollination, definition of fertilization, right, student? See, this is this is about the fertilization. This is a structure of fertilization. You can see this is a structure of a typical ovule. Clear? This is a pistil, or you can say gynoecium part, right. This is pollination takes place here. This is pollen grains, anther and filaments are there na. This is androecium part, so male part. Pollens are shed off on the stigma here. Now from this pollen tube emerges here, and this pollen tube reaches to the embryo sac. This is the embryo sac, and axil is here. This is the ovary, petal, sepal, vascular system, right. So embryo sac is here, and fertilization takes place here. Egg cell and one male gamete fuse together and form the zygote here. Clear? The ovule develops into a seed and embryo with the supply of nutrients in the seed coat. The ovary develops into a fruit. The whole ovary after fertilization develops into a